And as always, we're going to be looking for accurate context, good risk management, and always exercising good patience.
Everybody who's traded has gone through periods of time where their strategy hasn't worked.
Where if not a hard stop, you should reevaluate the trades you're in based on time.
That's what we're here for, is to put ourselves in the best success. A trading routine does that, builds that habit, lets you know what to work on, what to reflect on, and what to improve on the next day.
Good morning and welcome to the Market Forecast. It is Tuesday, August the 4th. I'm John. Thanks for trusting me with your time. It's National Coast Guard Day, and as always, make sure we pray every day for peace. As always, we're seeking accurate context, good risk management, and always trying to remain patient in our trading. Today, if you're already in the markets, hopefully you've got things going your way. We had some interesting economic numbers come out this morning. Of course, everybody seems to be focusing on tomorrow's unemployment number, but we did have some interesting things this morning. 7:30 this morning, International Trade in Goods and Services came out a little bit lower than expected. The last release of this was minus 85.6 billion. They were expecting 80 billion negative, okay, and came out negative 79.6 billion. So a little bit of a draw, a little bit of a downtick in the trade deficit, which is good. Jobless claims this morning, we were looking for 260,000 initial jobless claims. It came out at 260,000 jobless claims, but the last week's was revised down to 254,000. So even though it came out as expected, it's an uptick in initial jobless claims. We had an uptick in continuous jobless claims as well. We were looking for 1,382,000. We actually ended up with 1,416,000 in continuing jobless claims. So some strange information coming from that. We're still waiting for the 9:30 nat gas numbers, and at 11 o'clock, Fed member Meester is due to talk, and that's going to pretty much wind up any known economic information that we're looking for today. U.S. stocks struggled a little bit to hold gains after the Bank of England raised rates at 7 o'clock Central this morning. And it was an expected 50 basis point rise this morning. My question is, we had some new information. We're expecting information tomorrow. How are these markets going to digest the current information and prepare themselves for unemployment tomorrow? Earnings of note today, Eli Lilly missed on both. Alibaba beats on both, as well as ConocoPhillips. After the close, we're looking for Amgen. There's no major earnings due out today other than the ones that are already out. Still a very long list of earnings, and that can certainly affect markets as the day goes on and after the close for sure. Crude prices consolidate after yesterday's sell-off. We're going to have an interesting trading day in crude. And as always, the VIX up slightly at 2204, the dollar index down slightly at 106.34, and the yield on the 10-year coming off again here at 2.68%. Now, those are older numbers. Last I checked, those are what they were. So remember that is a little bit in delayed time. As always, make sure you hit that lucky like button. Share, comment, question, feedback, heckling, and love are always welcome. And subscribe to our YouTube channel so you get notified when we do go live. Today is Thursday. It's Make Hogue Money Day. We went live on Tuesday. Made a little money. We're going to see if you can make me a little bit of money today. Just a note, next Tuesday we're going to be doing the Make Hogue Money, of course, in the Zoom meeting, of course. We're also going to be broadcasting it onto YouTube starting Tuesday. So maybe we'll get a broader audience and maybe we'll get more people in there, more people to make those decisions and to vote on those trades. It seems to be working pretty well. Before we went live, we put up about 4,500 trading minis. We're starting to trade micros in Make Hogue Money to start. We're going to try and build that account the way a lot of our funded traders have built their accounts. So we're going to have some fun with that again today. And again, I appreciate everybody being here. Thanks for being part of my futures family. I do have some family here. I see my brother and I see my other brother here, and sometimes my mom even watches. So we've got quite the family going here. Always a pleasure to be with you, as always. Charles March is the first one in the room. Charles, you win the prize this morning. Brian, Scott Saw, and he conquered. Dimitar, good morning. Dark Evan, great to see that you've signed up. We're looking forward to seeing your success. If there's anything I can do or we can do to help, just let us know. My brother Rick is here. Love you. Mango Heist, good morning. Jules Tachyon, Theo Shaw, good morning to you. DA, Kevin Guy, good morning to my brother Thomas. I love you. It was Tom's birthday on Monday. Tom is he's finally 21 of drinking age, so we're going to get together and have a little party one of these days, Tom. Orion, good to see you. Bill Phillips, Ron Denise, good morning. Robert, good morning again. Tom, Serenity Trader, buen dia. Glimmer Glitter Sandwich, good to see us. Sarah Hall, always a pleasure. Good morning, prayers and love to you as well. The Rooster, looking forward to another good day. Yeah, you had a good day yesterday. Just remember, start from zero today. Don't risk what you had yesterday. Today's a new day. Every trade is a new trade. Start from zero. JNR, Rusty Golfer, John Doherty, good morning. What's happening with your chat name there? Looks like you're in maintenance. James, good morning. Haggle Matters. Tom Hoagland, perhaps Juan is still bagging Z's. No, I'm here. I'm awake, I think. Frederico. Joe Drennan, good to see you. Chilling with Dylan. And Anissa, good morning to everybody. So we're going to jump rather quickly into the charts this morning. We've got Make Hogue Money. We want to get into that room as quickly as possible so we can take a look at what's going on, and you guys can tell me about your trade ideas. Piples, congratulations. Terry, good to see you. Piples signing his pro-funded paperwork. Nice job. Great to see. Just dance with the one you brung. You got there. You can be there. You can stay there. You can profit. You can succeed. We know you can. It's good to see you, by the way, Piples. I haven't seen you in quite some time. It's great to have you back in the fold here. GZ, good morning, and let's jump into the charts. Starting with the daily in the E-mini S&Ps. All right. Well, that wasn't smooth. There we go. All right. Open interest continues to build on up days. We added an approximate 24,000 new open interest on an up day. The market is continuing to do what it does when it rallies. It doesn't necessarily bring huge volume on rallies. What I'm focusing on when the equities go higher is it bringing new business? It started bringing in new business 2 weeks ago, Tuesday. As I said, this is a shift in the marketplace. This is a new personality, and that has proven to be right up to this point. We had a bull flag we broke out of yesterday. We closed above it. We are still in this kind of balance area that the Nasdaq has surpassed. The Nasdaq is presenting as the stronger of the markets here, and of course, a lot of that is due to the tech earnings and the way things have been going there. So we brought in a whole bunch of new bets to the upside here. This is potentially going to create a new leg higher that I think the Nasdaq has already done. We've got to get past this swing high back here. 4204.75 before we can really start to see some continuation up towards our weekly kickoff high, which is 4255. We saw new business coming in We see new business continuing. We saw new business yesterday. The auction process is actually, in my opinion, doing well. Now, we talked earlier this week about how the auction process was tiring. We had a pullback, an opportunity for the market to even out inventories, and now that market with even inventories has the push, has the gumption, the chutzpah, the fortitude to continue this push to the upside. Anything can happen. ACH, remember that. There's a whole lot of uncertainties going on out there, and as resilient as these markets are, it doesn't surprise me that if there's no true bad news, it's just going to continue to eat shorts and grind to the upside. We have unemployment tomorrow. You got to remember that. Take a look at the 30-minute chart here. Good morning, Patrick. Good morning, Franklin. Good morning, Dan Trader. Dimitar. Yeah, Dimitar, I apologize to all of you who were at the group coaching session yesterday. Apparently, I failed to restart the recording. I do that sometimes. I'm old and technology confuses and frightens me. So I do apologize, but we are going to be doing another group coaching on Monday, so we can kind of review some of those thoughts and ideas and questions if we want to, and I will make quadruple sure that I start the recording for those. I had a lot of requests for the recording yesterday, and I apologize for my failure to record it. Okay, 30-minute. No real overnight inventory. Maybe we're starting to get a little bit long prior to the open here. We're still kind of awaiting data when I sat down and started these notes. We've got our data. We just traded back down to settlement. So I don't think that there's really any overnight inventory with which to deal with here. We do now have a new recent high in extended trading hours. This was our recent high. We looked above it, and the market has a tendency not to like to leave that in extended trading hours. So this overnight high is gonna be a target for the regular trading hour session today. So I'm going to really be focusing on that. Last week's low here is also a major focus for me today. We weren't able to get down to it in the overnight session. We're opening in range, in value, no real gap here. It offers me the opportunity to try and stay patient. We are going to be watching the opening in Make Hogue Money. We'll see if we all agree to do the opening range trade, and we'll see what our excellent traders who vote every time to see if we can't get into a good opportunity and make me some money. Overall, the market is in range and in value. It doesn't seem to be opening in an area that bodes for repair. It's opening above that. So as long as we can hold above this level here, overnight low, this low volume node from yesterday, which is above anything that we've been, been through in recent time. So I'll be watching this level here, overnight low, last week's low, and overnight high for some bigger opportunities. Anything in the middle, I'm going to try and stay patient on. Let's take a look at the crude oil. We are just getting into the opening range. We had a pretty convincing breakout to the downside yesterday from balance. Our weekly kickoff levels last week, high and low, really kind of encompassing those levels. And we took a good breakout down below that yesterday, adding 5,500 in estimated open interest. This is new selling coming in, ladies and gentlemen, and on higher volume. For whatever it's worth, we have been seeing let's see here. Since the beginning of June, we've been seeing lower highs. We've been seeing lower lows. We're in a medium time frame channel to the downside, and we are smack dab in the middle of that channel now. This breakout to the downside has one barrier, which is this swing low, which is 88.23. Below that, there's a measured move that could take us all the way down to about 81.50, which is well inside of our channel, or as some of us like to call in honor of our good friend Dan Hodgman, Dan'l. So there's legs to the downside here if we can get down below this swing low. Anything can happen. We know that there's a war in Russia, a lot of question as to how much demand we're going to have, how much supply we're going to have. That's all just part of the game. It's going to be a tough, I think, trading day today because we are opening in range and in value, no overnight inventory. So I'm going to be looking to see if we have a winner early in the session. Yesterday we watched the opening range. It ended up being the dead high of the session. Okay, we opened in range but out of value. That opening range ended up being the high and the best place to place a trade yesterday. We're going to do the same thing today. Nobody knows. We're at risk of opening perhaps, well, we didn't open with a gap. It's looking like we've got the opening range starting to look like the high of the regular trading hour session. Let's have a look. 65. So we got a little over 20 tick opening range here, which is small compared to recent. I mean, we've been seeing 50, 60, 70 point opening ranges. This is relatively small. This is actually workable. All right, let's go back to the 30. Okay, we're at the low from yesterday. I mean, if we're going to come back up and repair some of these levels that might need repair today, it would make a little bit of sense. If we leave the opening range at the high of the session, I'm going to be looking for a larger continuation of this move to the downside. Why not? We had a late spike. Where are we? We opened largely in the late spike. Opening in the late spike is rather neutral, but if we hold our high here in the opening range, that's going to kind of be the high of the late spike, which is 90.82. So we've opened and are kind of hanging in the late spike. Boy, this is tough. Oh, here we go. Now we've taken out the high of the opening range. We may look to go the other direction for a period of time. Remember, we don't really have any overnight inventory with which to lean on here. We're in range and value, so try and stay a little bit patient here. To the Nasdaq. So here's where the S&Ps are. They're in this previous area of balance. The Nasdaq has taken that out and is looking like it's rambling very easily towards weekly kickoff high. Way ahead of the E-mini S&Ps. Open interest increased yesterday, about 2,500 contracts. Not bad. We had the bull flag breakout. Okay, we see that. Weekly kickoff high in play. It is certainly much closer to being in play in the Nasdaq than it is in the S&Ps. And this red line here is the 20% off the all-time high percentage. So that can be targeted. I mean, this is really kind of similar chart-wise to where the weekly kickoff high is in the S&Ps, but we're still down here in the S&Ps. The Nasdaq has been, again, presenting as much stronger. Tells me I still want to continue to buy weakness. We see open interest continuing to pile in. We're actually seeing volume increasing at higher levels as well. So the auction to the upside in our equities, while it took a little nap here, seems to be picking up legs to the upside once again. Here we are. Big up move. Settlement 13,271.50. No late spike or anything, but really we're just hanging at the high here. Looks like maybe we have the opportunity, perhaps in the Nasdaq here, to open with a gap, depending on where price is. If we can't open with the gap, again, we've now put in an overnight high that exceeds any regular trading hour session highs. Regular trading hour session traders don't like that. So I'll look for this market to visually target that level at some point today, which gets us even yet closer to our weekly kickoff high, which these weekly kickoff highs are important inflection levels where I think that longer time frame traders will be forced to adjust inventory. Either they're going to sell it and break the market off of it, or we're going to accept and continue above it. We got to get there first. We open in range and in value. Try and stay patient. Now we've lost the chart. Here we go. And there it is again. So not much pullback here. It's kind of similar to a dead cat bounce, but in the opposite direction. Take a look at gold now. Finally, we're seeing some potential to the upside here. We've got Tuesday's high here, 1805. 1805.60 is our current high in gold. Volume and open interest really dried up once we kind of held back down below weekly kickoff high. That was not very encouraging for the downside auction that appeared to be attempting to continue to try and push price lower. Do we have some new buyers already in play here? Yesterday, we only had a 100 contract loss in open interest. It's as though nobody cared down below here. It certainly seems like we're seeing traders a little bit more interested now that we're back above weekly kickoff high. Here's the 30-minute. So we have an awful lot of overnight inventory that's long, very long overnight inventory. My goal or my dream would be to have the price come back down towards weekly kickoff high so I could get an opportunity to buy weakness. We've opened with the gap. The market is attempting to close the gap. If it can't close the gap, then I'll start looking for opportunities for longs in the direction of the gap. If we do close the gap, I'm going to be looking for opportunities down here. Weekly kickoff high, last week's high. This area looks ripe for opportunity. It's been sort of magnetic, this area, and I'm kind of concerned that it may lose some of its supportive properties, if you will. But at least it gives me an opportunity to limit risk. That's all I'm about, is limiting risk. The euro, just range bound. What else can I say about it? The balance just remains. The market just struggling to. Where is the gap? I'll go back to show you that money kiddo. Nice chat name. So here's what I consider a gap. I go day time frame to day time frame. So here's the value. Here's the volume profile for the regular trading hour range in gold today. Here's the high of the regular trading hours in gold yesterday. The fact that we've opened outside the range from yesterday creates the gap. If we're going to close the gap, we're going to have to move back down to this level in regular trading hours. If we can't close the gap relatively early, then we start to look for opportunities to buy weakness to see the market continue. When we think about the amount of overnight inventory that we have that are holding longs, overnight inventory is generally shorter time frame, weaker hands traders. They're looking for the market to continue in this direction in regular trading hours. If it doesn't happen, they might start to bail out and push price back lower, back to where the 7 o'clock last night opened, which would take us all the way down here. I don't expect that. Although, as we always say, ACH, anything can happen. Yeah, we've got, I see Orion talking about Taiwan preparing for war. It certainly is extremely tense over there, and I continue to pray for peace. China is, performing, war practice all around Taiwan. It's just a really bad situation. Everybody join me in prayer and hoping that peace prevails. The euro, again, very range bound. We added 2,000 in open interest yesterday. I find that interesting. But overall, we've been seeing value kind of decreasing the longer we stay in this area. So I think we're in an area where open interest isn't really going to matter that much because I think we're pretty even as far as inventory is concerned. We've had plenty of time to even out inventory in this area of balance. We've tried so many times to break out above weekly kickoff high. I certainly want to be there on the day that happens because it's likely to be a big move whether we break out lower or break out higher. Take a look at the 30-minute chart here. Okay. Overnight inventory, a little bit long, but still in range. Centrally located between last week's high and low, weekly kickoff high and low. This market is in short time frame control. Short time frame levels are going to be where the market is going to turn, but the problem is there's so many of them. We got yesterday's range high. It already changed direction. We've got value high from yesterday, already changing direction. We've got, the overnight high from the night before last, which lines up nicely with value high from the previous day. We've got all these different levels with which to look for opportunities, which is good because it allows us the chance to limit risk, but it's finding the right one and then looking for the asymmetric opportunity from that makes this so difficult. We've got the 10-year here now. Medium time frame upside channel, or DANL, is intact. We are in the middle of it. We are also in the middle of last week's range. I'm going to suggest trying to stay very patient in this. We had a really big opportunity on Tuesday to the downside, and we're just kind of recovering from that. We added just under 9,000 in open interest yesterday on a push away from last week's low. We just may start to rotate here, looking for short time frame levels with which to look for opportunities. Here's the 30-minute chart. So, did anybody see perhaps a inverse head and shoulders here? We've seen a breakout above the neckline here prior to the open. If we get a pullback to it, it might be an interesting level for a continuation to the upside. But our overnight inventory is largely long, short, long, flat, mixed, whatever it is. Mostly long. Here's settlement here. Opening here. Short. There's no real overnight inventory with which to lean on here. So we're in the range from 2 days ago, in the value area from 2 days ago. This might be an interesting opportunity for us here. If we're going to continue to hold the head and shoulders, we're looking at, watch this. Okay, here's the neckline. Here's the top of the head. Upon breakout, the target for this breakout above the neckline here is all the way up here. We'll see if that happens. No recap today, but just watch and see what happens if you get the chance. Natural gas, what a mess. We did add 5,200 in open interest off that low yesterday. We've got what would be viewed as a bullish engulfing pattern right here. Okay, this up bar completely engulfs the candle body of the previous down bar. This would be a pretty positive thing if the market was really coming down to it. This is more of a consolidation area. Big volume on that turnaround yesterday and big open interest, 5,200 additional contracts created yesterday. Here we are. I don't know what happened there. Still haven't had much of a chance to try and figure it out. But we don't really have any overnight inventory. We didn't open with a gap. We may be heading into repair area, which would put us between this point of control, this high volume node here, basically settlement, and this high volume node down here, basically the point of control. It's going to be an interesting day because this is all excess. excess. No time, no volume accumulated while we barreled through this area. If there's business to do, we may go into repair today. As always, anything can and will happen. Righty. So Marcelo started step 1 yesterday. Had to do a reset today, because I forgot about the 310 cutoff, even if I had a positive trading day. Oh well, time to learn to figure out my time zones better. Yeah, make sure you're aware. You gotta be flat by 3:09:59 Central Time. 3:09:59 Central Time. Marcelo, good luck. Good trading to you. Stay in process. Stay in your hypotheses and the strategies related to those hypotheses. We're looking forward to your success, Marcelo. All right, take your deep breath. Stay humble, grateful, and creative today. If you're coming to make Hogue money, I'll be there ASAP. Let's see if you guys can make me some dough today. I'm looking forward to it. If not, be kind to yourself, be kind to others. Pray for peace everywhere, and trade well. No recap today. We have the podcast coming out at 3 o'clock. So, all right, trade well, everyone.